You know what this is. Duct tape. The fabric that holds the universe together. Today, on Everyday Ready, I'm going to show you 5 awesome and/or amazing uses for this tape. Let's go. Alright guys, use number 1 for duct tape is to make a container. You're going to need duct tape, obviously. You're going to need a log or something appropriately sized for the shape and size of container that you need. Go ahead and check the chapter markers down below if you're interested in skipping ahead, but this one will take me just a couple minutes. I'll try and speed it up for you. Here we go. So you want to start out by wrapping these around here. Don't crank it down tight. Leave it a little bit loose. Start at the end and wrap it backwards so that the sticky side is facing out. And see how that can move freely on there? Again, sticky side, overlap the last piece just slightly. Sticks to it, of course. Again, not too tight. I'm only going to go 2 wraps here, but obviously I could make it as big as I want. Now I'm going to go across the ends. And again, sticky side out. Crisscross that. Again. One kilo. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing again. This time we're going sticky side in towards sticky side. Start right on the end, right on the edge. Wrap it and wrap it. Again, not too tight. Of course, we've still got the bottom, so we got to go back over that again. Slide off, rinse it out, and of course we've got a container now where we can put water or soup or whatever else you might want to put on there. I made this one before. You can actually add a handle in. You basically just use a piece of tape and triple it over on itself and tape that into the sides. You can carry water, you can drink out of it, eat food out of it, whatever you might need. So let's move on to number 2. All right, for number 2, let's assume that this Ziploc bag is the side of my tent or hammock or canopy or anything else that I want to keep dry in, right? And it has developed a leak, okay? We're going to put a hole in this. Okay, right there, finger is through the hole. And obviously we want it to hold water. So I don't know if you knew this or not, but duct tape was actually developed by the military around about World War II, I believe. And it was designed primarily for repairing gear in the field. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of duct tape and we're going to place it flat over our spot on the inside of our tent, our makeshift tent here. And one on the outside, of course. Making sure to seal that up real good. And then we will put some water in this and see if it holds water. Of course, when I was just putting it in there, I got water all down the side, but for the most part, appears to be holding nice and solid. So you can use it for gear repair, specifically for, you know, repairing tents or something like that that you want to stay dry in. So that's number 2. Let's get on to number 3. All right, for this next one, we can actually make rope out of our duct tape. So we don't have any P-cord, we don't have any rope. We need to guy out some tent lines or a tarp or something like that, a rain tarp. What I'm going to do is that wood structure over there, which is called a tank trap, I'm going to attach one end to it, And then I'm going to back up. I've measured 20 feet out, and I'm going to start there because I wanted to be able to give you some sort of a ratio. 20 feet of tape lends itself to 15 feet of usable cordage or something like that. So I'm going to attach one end there, I'm going to back up to 20 feet, and then I'm actually going to fold the tape in on itself because you don't want any of the sticky side out, otherwise it'll stick to itself as you tie knots in it. It's just super annoying. So you basically want to fold it in on itself, kind of middle to middle, make it into thirds, something like that. And then we're going to twist it up, and I'll tell you how much usable cordage we can get out of that. So here we go. I've gone ahead and I've attached a stick to here, and I've wound this as tight as I need it to in order to kind of stay taut, and it feels firm. There's not a lot of soft spots or air in between all the twists and everything. And 20 initial feet of the tape ended up getting me about 15 to 17 feet of usable rope. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off of here. I'm going to tie a knot in the end just to make sure that it doesn't come all the way back. I'm going to cut that other end off and tie a knot in there, and then we've got some usable rope for whatever we need. Okay, the next one here is Blister Care. So sometimes you get blisters on your feet from hiking long distances or something like that, and it can really make continuing on with a hike a real pain. Now, worst comes to worst, you're gonna tough it out, and you're gonna get back to civilization, and you're gonna have a doctor look at it and get it fixed. But if you just need to be able to have minimize the friction between your skin and your sock and your footwear, what you can do is you can take a couple of pieces of tape, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece big enough to cover our blister. Okay, let's say that our blister is here on this spot of my hand, representing the back of the ankle. It's really hard being a one-man show here. I can't really tape up my own ankle and show you properly. So basically I'm going to lay this smooth side down over the top of my blister, if I can get it off my fingers. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to tape over the top onto my skin. And of course, you're going to wrap a few different ways and a few times around your ankle or whatever. Not too tight. You don't want to cut off any kind of circulation. But now that smooth side is up against your blister and will allow a little bit of movement there. But the tape itself will stick nice and tight to your dry skin. Make sure your skin's dry before you do this. And then you put your sock in on top and your shoe back on, and that friction will be on the tape and not on your skin. So it can really help to minimize the pain of a blister until you can get back to civilization. Okay, last one here is a Tinder bundle for helping to start a fire. Now the way that I'm going to start by preparing this in here on the workbench, and then I'll transfer outside to a place where we can actually start a fire with this, is I'm going to take 4 pieces of tape. I'm going to crisscross them, kind of like you're cutting a pizza and you're trying to get equal slices. Basically, I'm just going to do that, and we're putting the sticky side into the middle. Basically, you want a little bit of tape here that we are then going to put some material into, roll it all up as a ball. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, so I've got some pine needles here. I love to use pine needles. I think they're great. They're super dry. They burn really, really well. I'm going to take these and break them up. I've probably got a little too much here. Maybe I'll take half of what I got. And I'm going to stick it down in the middle here as best I can. And then I'm going to take some sticks, little twigs and things, put those in there. I'm seeing now that I didn't make my tape quite long enough. And then we're basically going to take this and we're going to tape it all together. Okay, these little tinder packs. You can carry this in maybe a Ziploc bag or something, and then you just light an edge of this. Not only does the tape burn surprisingly well, it's going to catch the pine needles and the twigs on fire as well. So let's go out to my fire pit and we'll see how well it burns. I'm also curious, guys, how long it will burn, so I'm going to go ahead and start a timer on this. Obviously, if the wind was blowing too hard, you'd want to make sure you had some sort of a wind block or a barricade built up so it doesn't blow this out, because it's going to burn off the tape first and then it's going to get to the stuff in the middle. Didn't realize that was so badly overexposed, so what I did was, in case I need to cut this video, I started a timer when I first lit it, and it's still going. We're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Then I looked over and realized that my camera was overexposed, so it's burning off the tape. It's getting to the material that we put on the inside. We've had a constant flame now for 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Still going strong at 4 minutes. Haven't even really gotten into the meat and potatoes of the Tinder pack yet. Alright guys, well, I got bored at like 5 minutes and 45 seconds or something like that. It was still going. It's out now, but you can understand that it burns for long enough that you would be able to build a fire out of it. And it wraps up into a nice tight waterproof package. And if you plan ahead for that, would really be a good survival thing to do. So hopefully you've enjoyed these 5 awesome uses for duct tape today. Please hit that subscribe button for me. Consider sharing this video with someone. Help me get my channel name out there, and give me a thumbs up and a comment or something like that. Sure would appreciate it. Guys, all this helps you be more everyday ready for the adventures you choose and the emergencies you don't. Thanks for watching.